If you found a magic lamp buried in the sand, what would you ask of the genie? Infinite wealth, unshakable fame, or perhaps the power to rule everything? 700 years ago, one man held all of these within his grasp, not as a wish, but as reality. Mansa Musa. His personal fortune is estimated at approximately $400 billion in today's value. Even the combined wealth of modern titans like Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos pales in comparison. His was a figure on a truly different scale. His wealth was treated as something close to divine authority. It was a power that made the impossible possible for an entire nation and the world. But let us look beyond the glory and into the abyssal darkness left in the wake of the richest man to ever live. Fourteenth century West Africa. Beyond the scorching Saharan sands lay a legendary state that controlled half the world's wealth: the Mali Empire. At the time, nearly half of the gold in global circulation was held within the borders of this nation. Yet, their prosperity was built on more than just the gold beneath their feet. It was a massive engine of life and desire spanning the desert. They monopolized two things: the gold mined from the southern forests and the rock salt carved from the northern desert. In the sweltering interior of Africa, salt was a white gem for survival, traded weight for weight with gold. The Mali Empire held absolute military control over the crossroads where southern gold met northern salt. By strangling the gateway of goods and the entry point of life, the world's wealth was sucked into this nation by an irresistible gravity. This torrent of riches gave rise to a distorted paradise in the heart of the desert, the city of gold. The year is 1324. Mansa Musa, the pinnacle of this empire, embarks on a pilgrimage to Mecca. It was the most extravagant procession in human history. A nation's wealth, physically uprooted and on the move. A shadow of 60,000 people stretched to the horizon. 10,000 slaves carried staffs of solid gold. Behind them, camels bore loads of bullion that would make a modern national budget look like pocket change. But imagine what this gold meant to the world at that time. In Europe to the north, a single gold coin was a ticket to life, enough to buy the loyalty of several elite soldiers for a month. Mansa Musa carried 12 tons of it. It was enough to upend the balance of power across the entire European continent. It was not just money. It was physical dominance on a scale the world had never seen. Passing through Cairo, Mansa Musa bestowed gold upon everyone he met. It was the reign of wealth everyone dreamed of. But this very kindness became a bottomless quagmire that choked the city to death. Because such a massive volume of gold flooded the market, its value plummeted. The gold coins that could feed a family yesterday couldn't buy a crust of bread today. The city's economy would remain crippled for over a decade. The king's dazzling mercy turned the life savings of the common people into worthless trash in an instant. A single man's spare change triggered a silent slaughter. A fortune of this magnitude was no longer wealth. It was a form of violence. The pilgrimage reached its zenith. The king hired the finest scholars and architects to transform his capital into a beautiful city of learning. But the more he showcased his gold, the more the empire's armor fell away. Until then, the nation had been a terra incognita, protected by the deadly wall of the Sahara Desert. But after his journey, for the first time, a king holding a golden orb appeared on European maps, the Catalan Atlas. His existence was now pinned to the world's coordinates. By scattering gold along his path, Mansa Musa proved to the greedy eyes of rival states both the prize to be taken and the path to reach it. Waiting at the end of his journey were the shadows of invaders, using the glitter of his own gold as a lighthouse to guide them across the desert. Mansa Musa and his fortune were the ultimate shield that silenced the world. Everyone squinted at the brightness, fearing the true power hidden behind the glare of the desert. But the moment he left this world, that light inverted into a target. What remained was a brutal proof scattered across the globe. Mali has infinite gold. The golden glow that once kept enemies at bay became a death fire that lured marauders the moment the king died. Internally, the royal bloodline began a fratricidal war over the inheritance. Externally, foreign expeditions followed the scent of gold to breach the walls. The city of gold was swallowed by the sands of history in a shockingly short time. The most extravagant tragedy in history, where a vast fortune drove the world mad. A single man's pure heart of mercy resulted in paralyzing the global economy and sowing the seeds of endless conflict. Giving is not always salvation. Sometimes it is a cruel violence that shatters the existing order. Are you trying to solve your problems by simply giving? Do you give your children everything they want the moment they ask, or settle every trouble simply by paying your way out? That kindness of only giving might be leading those you love and yourself toward collapse. You already feel it. Yet, humans remain creatures who cannot help but crave the infinite wealth that grants every wish.